Hey guys, welcome back to the next video. In this video, we are going to configure the management console SSL. So this is the management console, and currently what you're browsing is the HTTP version of it, not the HTTPS version of it. So as you can see over here, this website is not secure because this is a HTTP website, not a HTTPS website. So it's like a HTTP:// and then you get this website. If I type the same thing over here as HTTPS://, it's not going to work. So because the 9990 port number, the 9990 port number uses the HTTP protocol, and the 9443 port number is going to use the HTTPS protocol. So we need to have that enabled. There are these few steps we need to go forward and do that first before enabling that on the on your configuration level. You first need to have a file created for you to host it. So if you're doing it from the GUI, there is an option to do it from the GUI as well. You can go to the host master and then click on view. And then if you just come down to the management interface, you will see only HTTPS. Now you should see another interface over here, HTTPS. After we have created our Keystore file, where we will be using JKS Keystore as in Java Keystore. And this Java Keystore is designed with Java, which means that I'm going to use Java to run that. So I'll be using a command called keytool. That command is created by Java, and that command is used for creating JKS files, so Java Keystore. Once I've got that created, so I'll be creating another management interface over here called HTTPS through command line JBOSS CLI. You can also do that via the GUI interface also by clicking on this enable SSL under the management interface. And then it will give you a GUI via option, as this is going to be, we are going to create a SSL for your master. Then obviously you have to create a SSL binding or two-way communication between your slave and the master. Both the slave needs to be aware of the master's new certificate, and the way of authentication will be done from now on using HTTPS. So the communication between the master and slave currently is going on between 9990, which will need to be changed to 9443. So which means that the host-slave.xml needs to be updated as well. We need to have a trust store created and then add that public certificate of that master's private certificate in the trust store of the slave 1 and slave 2. So likewise, you have to do a lot of process for this. But this is all something which we discussed on the two-way communication in the previous videos. Now, we're going to do that in the GUI by giving a mutual authentication, and I want to create a key store and generate a self-signed certificate. When I hit the next button, I can have the option of creating a key store, and all those things can be done from the GUI method. And then by clicking on next button, you can review that step and you can close this. But I don't recommend using the GUI for doing this activity. I would recommend you to do the command line method. So to do the command line method, just first go to your home folder and then run the following command. The first command, which I will make sure that it is part of your documents. So the first command we're going to run is the keytool command, and this is the command to generate any key files. So here I'm generating a gen key with an alias name called mgmt. Now this alias name is basically how it differentiates the other certificate. As I told you, keytool, like for example JKS in this case, can have multiple or can host multiple files in itself. You don't have to give a key type over here which says JKS, because by default keytool can only create JKS files and no other files can be created using keytool. So you don't have to give the key type option over here. So we'll start with alias over here, which talks about what is a unique name to identify this. And the same alias will be mentioned as part of your configuration as well, in terms of identifying this particular key store for your master server. And then you have the key algorithm, algorithm is basically is your RSA algorithm it's using, and signature algorithm is going to be SHA-1. You can also, it's also called a SHA-2 with RSA, so you can give SHA-1 as well, which is 128-bit. So the reason why we give SHA-2 is because it is more secured, and it's a more recent algorithm for signing your certificates. So that's why we give SHA-256 or 2 for this. So even if you give 1 and execute this command, you will see the error or warning saying that the SHA-1 signature algorithm was, which is considered a security risk and is disabled. So this means that some browsers, you will not be able to browse this application. So because of the security, the less security issues over here. So it's always recommended to go for 256 or 2. SHA-256 with RSA, and the key size is going to be 2 MB. So what's the meaning of 2 MB file size is that the key file size will be heavy for anyone to decrypt it if even someone gets a hands-on it without the key password. Now, as this is a demo, we're going to configure the key password as password itself so that it will avoid any confusion for this matter, and we'll be able to do the training successfully. So key password is basically for your key file. So this is the key file, and that's the key alias name, which is mentioned over here. So this is the key alias name on that key file. So to access, even though you access the Keystore, if you want to access the key, so you need to give the password. So now if your password for key and the store password is the same, then you have to give this password only once. If you have 2 different passwords, it may prompt you for both the passwords, the key password and the store password. Primarily, it will ask for the store password because you'll be accessing the entire store, and within that, what is kept is the key. So you'll be asking for the key password. Now, once you have accessed this one, as you can see, manage.keystore is over here. So all you have to do is the next one is your validity. Now, here is the validity of your self-signed certificate. As is a self-signed certificate, you can provide the validity by yourself. You can give 365 days or 3,650 days as well. Next is the DNAME configuration. So this is where you are going to specify the common name for your certificate. So this is the first private key which you're creating, right? So the common name is asked for, and then organizational unit, JBOSS and management, and then some information about your state and country. And then in the extension, here we are providing the SAN name. So this option would not be available on the GUI mode, which I showed you earlier. So here I have 2 DNS. One DNS is about a wildcard entry about star.jboss-host1. And the other DNS is JBOSS host 1. And then there is the IP address also 192.168.130. So that the common name is covered right now, even though it is a self-signed certificate. You have enough common names to create your application. So all you have to do is hit the enter button, and then you should have your Keystore created in this location. Now there you go. You see the Keystore file created at this location. All good now. Now the next thing is we need to create a trust store. So we will do that now only because anyways we have to create it in this video itself. Why we need a trust store? Because what will happen right now is that I'll be adding this particular. So let's just complete that task right now. Sorry about that, I got a call. So now what we're going to do is we're going to export a public certificate from this private key store. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to run key tool with -export cert -alias name as mgmt. So this is alias name for your certificate. -keystore is the location of your Keystore. You can copy paste it from this location. -file is going to be the file which you're going to generate as the management certificate. So you can see mgmt cert. So this way you can export it. Now it's asking you for the Keystore password. Just give password as the password. And then there you go. So that now the file is generated. Now you can view this file using the command. I'll just tell you that, but let me just show you these 2 files which got created. So one is a Keystore file, which is the private Keystore. This file, you should never share it with anyone else. And this is a public certificate file which will be shared to anyone else who is accessing this or who needs to trust your this particular key. So you may need to share it to them. Now that you understood these two files, let's just go over and then let's understand and open these files. Now to open a key tool, key2-v-list -keystore, and then actual name of the file, the location of the file. Now it's going to ask you a password. You can ignore this password for viewing. The password is not necessary. You can give an enter. And then you can see that there is a private certificate over here. Not much detail will be listed, but you can see the entry type as private key entry. So this is the only detail you will be able to see. You will not be able to see the actual private key of encryption mechanism. You will not be able to see that. So you will see that last name, when it was created, and what it is. So you get that information. That's it. So the next one is that to view the certificate, you can use OpenSSL command. Now, OpenSSL command is by defaultly installed on all the systems. If you have not found OpenSSL, you can install it using yum-y install OpenSSL. So now this command is used for reading the certificate file. So here you can give in mgmt. I'm sorry, I just have to give the full path. So here you need to give the file and then no out -text. So this is the options that you need to give to read the file. So I will store this option as well over here in your document. And then store this option also in your document so that you can go and understand these two files. So here, as you can see over here, so this is the file. This is certificate, and what certificate it is? It's a public key algorithm, public certificate it is. Now you can see that this is the serial number of the certificate, and it's using a signature algorithm called SHA-256 with RSA encryption. Now this is very secure encryption. I wouldn't say the latest or the greatest. I would say like this is a nominal one, which is considered secure. So we can conclude that. And then in terms of the issuer details, so this is the issuer detail as the issuer and the receiver is the same. So you will see the same details over here. But in terms of a CA signed certificate, you will see the issuer detail as the intermediate certificate of the CA signer. Okay, so their name will be there over here. Their details will be there. And then the validity of the certificate, it's exactly an year. So you can see that December 3rd of 2024. And then you have the subject name of your actual subject name as you're the issuer. So that subject name is duplicated over here. You can see the algorithm of the public key algorithm. You can also see the signature algorithm, which is over here. And then you can pretty much see your DNS name, which you have defined. So you have a wildcard DNS defined over here, as well as JBOSS host 1. And there is an IP address also as part of your SAN names. So now that you have completed the export and you've read the certificates, all we have to do right now is to go ahead and create a trust store and import this. So you can use this simple command to do so. So now what you need to do is like you need to give the absolute path of your the management mgmt your public certificate, and then here you are giving the location of your trust store. Now I would keep my trust store in this location. I wouldn't be keeping the trust store here. I will be keeping this in the slave 1 location. So I'm just changing it to slave 1 location, and then I'm just giving this management.trust store as the name of it. So when I hit the enter, it will ask you for password. Give the same password as password again. Re-enter the same thing, and it's asking you, do you really want to trust this certificate? I say yes. Go ahead and trust this. And then you can see that added. Now let's just view this particular file. So you're going to use the same command. Mostly I'm going to use the same things. So here, instead of file and import, I'll just do a v-list and then enter, and then give an enter again. and then there is nothing exist. Oh, okay, so I should not be giving alias name over here. This command doesn't allow alias name. Just give the keystore, and you will be seeing, okay, so I don't think that certificate is added to this keystore. Which keystore did I add this to? Okay, it's the same one, so I don't see anything over here. So I can see that there's keystore type PKCS12, and then, okay. Why is it not showing up? Let me try again. Okay, seems like it is added. You may have to give the password here. Just give password, and then you will be able to see the certificate over here. There was a trust certificate entry. Now, this type of entry previously we saw on the Keystore file. We saw the trust cert. When you do that one, I'll just show you how it looked like. So when I give this one, you can see private key entry. So if I give the password, it gives you a little bit of details over here. So I've just given the password over here, and you can see the private key entry over here, and this is like trusted key entry, and you can pretty much see that this is the host we have over here, and some information about your SAN names as well. So that's how you need to view it. So sometimes you have to give a password to get the details. So that's how it is. So if you don't want details, you don't have to give a password. But then sometimes it only shows you the key, the private keys, not the public keys. So it's always better to give the password when it asks you for the password. So it works fine. All right, so much for this video. In the next video, we will continue the configuration in terms of doing these configurations on the console, on the command line interface, and then we will see how this goes out. Thanks again for watching this video. I'll see you on the next one.